time, Brian. Your name's staying the icon. You need a way to the fire. Lady with hammer stills gunned in the living room. Just a mailbag full, delivering letters. Now I'm dropping that fuel from the 9 to 5 to the Cowboys grind. Turn my voice into a platform. Game time, Brian. Every snap, every play, break it all down. Blue and silver pride, yeah, I rep this town. From the news to the rumors, every hot debate. If it's Cowboys talk, man, I'm never late. They say America's team, yeah, the name holds weight. 5 rings deep, and we still chase it. No matter win or lose, I stay locked in. Every game day is game time again. Game time, Brian, put the star in the sky. Talking about the boys till the day I die. From the mail route grind to the YouTube fame. Now the whole world knows my name. Tune in, lock in, yeah, we going live. Cowboys Nation, yeah, we ride or die. Opinions fly, but the passion stays. Every day's game time. Press play. Dak takes the snap, Micah on the chase. Talking O-line, defense, who's making the plays? Trades, rumors, draft picks too. If it's Cowboys news, then you know I come through. No network scripts, just a fan with a voice. Doing this my way, yeah, that's my choice. Breaking it down for the real, no cap. If you're riding for the star, then you know where we at. They say America's team, yeah, the name holds weight. 5 rings deep and we still chase 8. No matter win or lose, I stay locked in. Every damn day, it's game time again. Yeah, top Brian, put the star in the sky. Talking about the boys till the day I die. From the mail rail grind to the YouTube fame. Now the whole world knows my name. Tune in, lock in, yeah, we going live. Cowboys Nation, yeah, we ride or die. Opinions fly, but the passion stays. Every day's game time. Press play.
What's going on, everybody?
Leg nights, early mornings. Yeah, I built this up. Did it for the fans, never just for love. One video turned into something real.
Good afternoon, everybody. Game time, Brian, doing a lunchtime chat. Whoa, what's going on here right now? All is well. Hope everybody's doing good. We got some stuff to talk about. Nothing, real major. But listen, we need to keep doing this, before you know it, the talking heads will be running their mouths, thinking they know everything. We'll be hearing Dan Orlovsky shitting on Dallas and taking stupid takes from a guy who ran out the back of the end zone. So again, we'll be hearing him. We'll be hearing Stephen A. Smith, doing the troll videos. We'll see a Mr. Cringe, Skip Bayless. He'll be up to his antics, unless Dallas gets off to a good start. Then all of a sudden everybody will be calling for the Super Bowl. You know how that works. It's a bunch of BS. Thomas Garrett, where have you been, my man? I missed you. Let's get to the chat. But yeah, we'll talk it up for a little bit. We'll talk it up. Joe DeMasi is in the house. Arturo Gomez. Logan Motorsports, what's going on? CZ, hey, game time. Hey, chat. I hope everyone's doing well. Prayers for those in Texas. Yes, I definitely want to talk about that. Walker Wade will be joining us. I was talking to him on the way home from work. I would have been live a little earlier, but I was getting my act together. I made a thumbnail and doing some things, working on the broadcast for Wednesday night. We have the panel set pretty much. But thanks, CZ. We will talk about that. Kid Cowboy, I know you're in Texas, brother. It's rough, man. It is rough. It is rough. And I will amend what I said about Jerry Jones. He has pledged $1.5 million, them and the Texans, for flood relief. It is the perfect storm. We will talk about it. Logan Motorsports, what's up, brother? How are you, Logan? Ward family, there you go. I have your number. You know what? I didn't mail the stuff. I was just telling my wife we're going to get Rob's tumbler and the 2 cards with a couple special things for the Ward family and for that dude Rolo. So they'll be going out Maybe I'll give away a T-shirt. Maybe I won't. We'll see. Vinny Hagen, what's going on, Vinny? How are you, brother? Jimbo, my neighbor from around the corner. What's up, Jimbo? How are you? Let's see here. Boo, 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 boo. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. What's up, man? How are you? Randy McIntyre. What's up, Randy? Let's see. Arturo Gomez. Hamid has welcomed us. What's up, Hamid? How are you? I think that's about it. Porto Rock is in the house sporting a new look. Something tells me the beard might have been gone. Bobby Murphy, there you go. Where you been, brother? Let's see here. Rob A's in the house. What's up, Rob? How are you, man? And that's it. We have caught up. But yeah, we'll talk about a lot of things. But first and foremost, the Dallas Cowboys. We'll share the story here. NFL Cowboys Texas pledge 1.5 million for flood relief in Texas. It's brutal out there. The NFL's announced Sunday that the NFL Foundation, the Houston Texans, and the Dallas Cowboys will donate a combined. Okay, so they're each doing $500,000, like I originally thought. The money will be used to provide both intermediate assistance and long-term resources. It's very sad, very, very sad. And Wade, he was kind of driving through there. So, let me see. I'm going to let him know that we're live. So, let's see here. Wade. I was talking to Philly 500 earlier. He's doing fine. So there he is. Hop on. But yes, yeah, it's pretty rough, man. Could you imagine? And I'm going to save a little bit of that for when Wade hops on. But that's rough, man. Those poor people had no chance. I don't know if you guys saw the video of the. I don't know. I could probably find it. It's pretty brutal. Let's see here. I might be able to find it. Let's see. Let's see here. It's pretty brutal. Let's see. It came in at 2:00 in the morning. That's the scary part. That's the scary part. I don't want to get too graphic, but it's pretty. Let me see if I can find a short. It does happen fast, especially as it's as dry as it is. Let me see here. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, I don't really want to do that. I don't want to show too much, but yeah. Sledhead, what's going on? Hallie Pierce. I remember the river was mild when I was there. Yes. I was talking to Wade. He goes over that. He's been over it hundreds of times, obviously. And his parents live that way. Randy McIntyre, it is. It is very much. Are you able to hop in a Zoom call, Randy? Did I screw something up? Or nobody's in here? That's what I'm curious. I don't know if I screwed something up or you guys can't access it. Let's see here.
The South San Gabriel River in Georgetown.
I mean, it came in.
East across.
I mean, it came in at like 2 in the morning, I heard. Sweet prayers for those lost. Yeah, there's going to be well over 100. It was dark out when it first initially. I mean, that's it. But when it came across the the camp, there's no link. I put it in the. Oh, okay, duh. I thought I put it in the thing. All right, hold up. Hold that thought. Oh, it says Rock has joined. Here, let me fix it. Let me fix it, everybody. That's what happens when you're rushing. So, give me a sec. I thought I did it. Actually, I don't think I did it. You're right. I didn't do it. I set it up, but I never copied it and pasted it. Let's see. I was wondering. This is what happens when you rush. Let me see here. Oh, it's all jacked up. All right, let me copy this. Let's see here. Where the fuck is it? Bear with me, everybody. We're doing this. Let's see here. Today. Boom. Yeah, see, it's not giving me what I normally get. Hmm. All right, I gotta figure this out. Hmm. I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, it's been really giving me issues lately. Settings. Waiting room. That. 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 Allow participants. Save. All right, hold up, everybody. I'm trying to figure this out. Here we go. Let me copy this. Copy. Paste. There you go. I'll try that. Sorry, everybody. That's what happens when you're running around. That's what happens when you're running around. It's in there. Let me see. What's the details? All right, we're good now. I think we're good. I just got to fix my name. All right, let's do that. Let's try that. Let me know if it's in. Oh yeah. All right, that's what we could talk about. We could talk about Cavante Turpin. Listen, we got some. Hey Jesse, let me know if it's. There it is. That's my bad. Play sounds. There you go. All right. That's Joe Tranchino. What's going on, brother? Welcome from Italy. Ultra Cowboys in the house. Sorry, man. I got to get my act together. That's what happens when you run. You're going. But yes, it's Randy McIntyre. You're one that I could talk about, man. How far are you from where the floods were? What's up?
About 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours.
What's up, Spare None? 4
What's
hours.
bad is, Brian, they predicted them to get 6 inches of rain in 12 hours. they got 12 inches of rain in 5 hours. And that land is it's kind of like they get a lot of rain, they have slides and things. They didn't have. I ain't never seen nothing like that in my 64 years.
Oh wow! I just got a text from the Ward family. Hey, bro, just FYI, I'm currently packing my truck and heading to Kerrville. My cousin lost everything, including her home, and two of her neighbor's kids were swept in the river. So everybody say a prayer. This isn't like this is like crazy here.
They're never gonna find all the bodies. That's the sad
No.
part. Never.
It
There's
came on so fast in the morning
What's
when
up,
everybody
Donnell?
was asleep. They had no warning.
What's
Yeah,
up, Xavier?
yeah.
no.
They had no
In,
warning. That's a tragedy.
in fact, one of the dads was talking to his daughter's friend at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then all of a sudden he heard screams and the phone went blank, and they ain't been. And the
Oh.
place, the cabin they were staying in, is not there anymore. Along with the foundation is gone.
And
That's
it's
how
awful.
bad it was.
Yeah, and it's
Damn
awful
shame.
when you see the pictures of the flooding going under that bridge and you see parts of houses, people's possessions all floating on the
Mhm.
water. It's just awful.
Yeah, it
Wow.
is.
That's
Yeah, I'm
crazy.
like 4 hours myself too.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
That really is crazy. Sucks, man. It really does. I feel bad because those people were like a lot of those people. There was religious camps, like summer camps and stuff,
Yeah,
all
Bible
along
school.
that river. What's the name of the river again, Randy?
It's
Guadalupe.
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 Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
It sucks, man. It does.
And that one camp with it's an all girl camp
Yeah.
that was
Jesus
there,
Christ.
all 27 of them. And I don't, I think they found,
They found two in a tree.
Yeah,
yeah.
they found two
Yeah,
yesterday.
Michael
Unit
Ward
tree.
just told me just right now.
But was this a
Again,
flash flood?
Michael
Yeah.
Ward.
Yes.
Michael
Oh.
Ward was with me and Mark in prime time in Dallas. So that's who that is. They lived on a ranch for about 8 months, and one of the kids was able to swim to a tree, and they just got her this morning.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, at least
Yeah,
they're
but they
finding
were-
some of them alive.
Yeah, true.
Well, they showed one picture of a house that was going down there, and there was people in the doorway. It took them so fast. I don't know how many were in the house. All I heard the person say there was so many in the house.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane. Now, again, these type of things happen all the. Unfortunately, they happen more than.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
Well, the worst thing is that it happened during 4th of July weekend.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the problem. Everybody.
for sure.
Yeah.
What's up,
I mean,
Glimmer
don't you-
Man? How are you,
Don't
man?
you think that's a little strange? For it to happen on that day?
Yeah, it is strange.
Well, I
Oh.
made I made
And
a.
then 26 feet in 1 hour?
Listen,
Uh,
we've
Yeah,
all
people
been.
don't realize it raised 26 feet within an hour, and
Yeah.
it went
So
to
that
29
happens.
feet before it started going back down.
Mhm.
It's
Hey,
never been that high on record.
Well, they said this was the second time it spilled over. Recorded second time that's ever.
Yeah,
spilled
and
over.
what's up, Freddie Trejo? What's up, brother?
What's up, Wade? Stay safe, brother.
Yeah, Wade. Yeah, Wade. I was just telling everybody. I'm sorry, I screwed up. I didn't put the link in the thing so nobody could hop in. I knew something was up because I'm like, normally if I go live, I got a lot of people in with me, so that's my bad. I apologize, but I did call Wade. I was wondering how he was doing because I hadn't heard from him. Now you got family. How far from there, Wade? You say you go over the Guadalupe a lot, right, man?
Yeah, I mean, Guadalupe River is like about like an hour and a half from my parents' house. I mean, so I was like going down to South Texas like the night that storm happened, and I woke up and all that happened. But I was catching a lot of rain on the way down. So
Yeah. Again, people don't realize that like you need rain, right? But
it wasn't on the forecast. That was the thing. Is it like popped
Yeah.
up out of nowhere from that remnants of that storm, that tropical storm that went into Mexico?
but you need rain, but not that amount of rain in a dry area because it does not absorb. It does not absorb. You know,
Yeah, they were having a drought right before this happened.
That stuff flips
Not
out. Don't
Yeah,
anymore.
worry, brother.
South Texas, we needed all that rain in South Texas, like where my parents are at, because the lakes down there near Corpus Christi and that whole area are like at 10%.
Hmm.
We needed that rain down there, even though it had been mass flooding. We needed it like something serious. So it was kind of like
It
it.
was,
I
yeah,
wish it happened like 100 miles south.
that's all it is. It's just where it happened. It was kind of like the
Yeah.
perfect storm, you know. Um, it sucks. I don't want to just be negative, but it's something we got to talk about. I mean, a lot of my channel members are in the state of Texas. I got family there, not so much in San
Right.
Antonio. Now that was more towards San Antonio, right?
Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
northeast, northwest San Antonio, Kerrville.
Yeah. It just
Mhm.
stinks, man. Like I don't question it, you know. I don't want to get too, but I mean, you know, I grew up Catholic. My mother was very religious, so it was kind of like, you know, I wonder what the plan is sometimes, you know. But you can't, right? You can't go down that road because then there isn't an answer, right?
It's the timing of it. It's essentially
Like why does
like a tornado hitting you in the
yeah.
middle of the night. You're asleep, and then a damn tornado
Oh, I
shows
would
up, and
hear
then it catches you off
nightmare
guard.
stories from my father, who grew up in Oklahoma when he was a kid, and then they moved to Dallas.
Ultra.
You know, but yeah, man, he would give me nightmare stories about because where he lived on, he would get a tornado. Well, this is tornado season now, so just rough. Just everybody say a prayer. It nothing we could do now. But I was watching the news when I got home, and they're kind of still digging through. I mean, they're just
They're expecting more rain too, like another 6 inches or something like that.
That's a lot of rain. People say 6 inches. That's a lot of rain. That's a lot of rain. But let's circle back, Vinny Hagen. Let's circle back and try and make the best of what's going on. So we got more negative news, but again, Cavante Turpin, right? He was arrested with less than 2 ounces of weed and who am I hearing? Because I don't know who I'm hearing.
Sounds like a TV or something.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Oh yeah, that was you, Hallie.
Okay.
Sorry, Hallie. she zipped that right out. Where the hell was I? No,
2 ounces of weed and a firearm.
yeah, and a firearm. And this happens all the time, right? My only problem is these young men need to be smart and just be legal with the
You
firearm.
need to be smart. Don't have drugs
Don't have the
and a
weed
firearm in the car at the same time.
with the firearm.
And,
But I mean,
and how do you get in trouble?
Texas, you can carry weapons here all day in the car.
Yeah,
As long as
exactly.
you don't have
That's what I'm
drugs.
saying. Yeah.
yeah, when I went to Texas, like I don't know, I guess it's 3 years now or 4 years now. The time flies with Mark and the guy we were with, Corey Stites, ex Marine. He was carrying in the car, so it's
But was he under the influence? Because that's when I first saw it said DUI.
He acted like a fool. He acted out of character, and that's the
Yeah.
reason the cop
He was
did what
he
he did.
He was speeding, Jesse, and yeah, he acted like a fool to the cop. Yeah,
well,
pretty much.
my
Yeah, so
question is, the NFL is not going to do much to him, but
I don't think so. Yeah.
Well, they're not, but because it's a misdemeanor. But my
Right.
question is, should Brian Schottenheimer do anything? We hear how much that. Oh well, that like there's a culture thing. He has to do something, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has to. He's a brand new coach.
He just signed him for $18 million. I'd have his ass on the carpet today, 8 o'clock this morning, and say, "What the hell are you doing? You hadn't even started your new contract, and you're doing
What's up,
this
thanks?
stupid stuff."
Right.
Well, yeah, he need to send out a message. He do.
Yeah, he
That's what
does.
But
I
I'm
mean, he's
not
he's a
saying
brand new-
lost
he's a brand new
games.
coach.
I'm not saying lost games. And again,
No.
I'm telling you it's not a big deal. But it's the Dallas Cowboys, and you shouldn't be doing that. You got to be smarter. That's all. My only fear is how many times, because I just want to give people the mindset of these NFL athletes, the mindset of an NFL or any athlete. The more money you make, the more you feel the need to protect yourself. My thing is, do it legally. Go
Right.
out and put the time in, and go and get legalized. So you
Especially
can
in a
buy.
state like Texas. I mean, they're not going to give you any trouble.
No,
They're gonna,
just be
they're going to
legalized.
allow it. Yeah.
Because that's the mentality is that the law enforcement may not look out for me, right? I got to protect me and my family.
Dude,
And they're going to go, well, you had weed in your car. It was less than 2 ounces of weed, people.
Yeah, you
Come
can't.
on, but the speeding, that's not so much the weed.
I don't know
it's
what the
speeding.
speeding. I didn't hear nothing about that.
I didn't
was
hear
a-
speeding. But when we brought this out on Mark's thing, he was arrested before back in
That's the
2018 2
thing,
different
yes.
times.
Oh.
Yeah, because the first one was in let's see.
DB.
One was in March. One was in March, and it was for uh,
DB, domestic violence.
being abusive to a family member and doing being destructive to property and everything.
Yeah.
And then in that was here in Fort Worth. Then he got arrested in New Mexico for being abusive with his girlfriend. And so what
What's
they
up,
did, the
Dustin?
only thing he did when they he pleaded guilty, and in 2019 he had to do 2 years of deferred adju- adjudication
Yeah,
probation.
adjudication. Yeah.
Adjudication.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
Uh,
that's good.
and then a 27-week partner abuse intervention program. And so that's what came out of that.
Yeah, well, I know why. That's why he was in the USFL. He had
UFL, yeah, you got it.
he had behavioral issues in
Yeah.
college. Yeah.
Why is it the more money some of these players, the more money they make, the dumber they are?
Well, again, these are young people.
They feel that they're
Right.
untouchable. That's the
They're
problem.
young and they have they think they're untouchable because of what they make.
I mean, Rock,
look at Henry Ruggs.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was something crazy. But yes.
Hold on, but
yeah.
how old is Turpin?
I don't know.
He's like 29 or something like that. I know he's older.
Hold on.
I watched him since
Hold
he was
on.
TCU.
If he's 29, there ain't no damn excuse. Come on now. I had all my faculties about me when I was 28, 29.
He's 20.
Yeah, but the
now.
same thing. So
He's 28
I
years
watched
old,
him.
so he has no damn
I watched him since college with his quarterback, and his quarterback was also he went to jail too. I think he ended up doing something dumb like killing his girlfriend or something.
Wow.
So there's a lot of you know what I mean.
Well, I will say this though.
That's called following the leader. That's what that's called in a bad way.
So what would you say he deserves? Thomas Garrett, what do you think?
Schottenheimer needs to call him and go deep up in.
Schottenheimer, he
needs to shove that foot far up his ass.
He needs to send a message. That's what he needs to do. He needs to send a message.
The rest of them.
Yep.
I wouldn't pull any punches neither. I'd be cussing his ass out. You dumb mother effer. You really want to
They can't do that
get
like
kicked
that
out
no
of the
more.
league, don't you?
And I would tell him, how do you get charged for a gun in Texas, bro?
That's why I said be legal
It's
about
a possibility. It's a possibility.
He won't be suspended.
You get charged with a gun in Texas when you have drugs in the car.
Exactly, Wade. And when you're speeding and being a jerk.
I mean, dude, you could have a damn bazooka in your gun here in Texas, and I got to do nothing to you.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know
he
if y'all
won't be
heard.
suspended.
Unless you have
He was
priors,
throwing
right?
his keys around with his buddy in the car and wouldn't let the cop have him. That's how childish it got. So you know what? You can say what you want. He's 28
talking
years
about
old.
the
Grow
49ers
the fuck up.
Yeah,
up.
exactly, Randy. He needs to
Are
grow
you
up.
talking about the player, the
Yeah.
the DB and 49ers?
No,
Because that's
I'm
the
talking.
one that was the one that was doing the keep away with the keys.
Well, he was doing the same thing from what I was understanding. That's what they were saying on the news the other day.
I didn't see. Oh, really? Okay, I didn't see it on any report.
Yeah, he's turning to become an habitual offender. A veteran player. This is when you need veteran older
he's
players
28.
to call.
He's older
we
than
ain't
I
got none of that. Sorry, we ain't got none of that. We ain't. Dak's a veteran player, but we all know Dak ain't gonna call him and say nothing.
No.
Dak bailed him
Kidding
out,
me?
though. Did you know
See,
that?
Yeah.
Dak bailed him out.
Dak
I'll tell
Prescott.
you one thing.
Yeah, he left Sunday Mass in the morning and immediately called his people and then contacted Collin County Clerk's office and Prescott was able to get a judge to come in on a Sunday and proceed to bail Turpin out. That's a good
I mean,
guy. He
hopefully
was stuck
Dak
in there
went
over
out
the
on
weekend.
him. Hopefully.
Well, listen, again, there won't be a suspension. Look at what's going on. Look at Rashee Rice. That was far more egregious, and he didn't miss any time. There will be no games missed.
A person died in this situation.
Exactly.
There will be no
Yeah.
games missed. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what should Brian Schottenheimer do. He talks about culture, right? You got to do something.
I think
Fine.
you got to suspend him 2 games. You
Yeah,
got to.
and
You want to send a message? Suspend him a couple of games.
Or
I think
fine
one
his
game.
ass. Maybe there's
He
something in his
probably needs to
contract.
do something to fit the crime of what he done.
I would say
Somebody
fine
that
his
just got
ass.
$18 million, the fine ain't gonna hurt him too bad.
Well,
No, that ain't gonna
Well,
send nothing. No kind of
Maybe
message.
50 grand. He's just gonna laugh that off.
no, yeah, I don't know what the players' union would allow. That's the thing.
Yeah.
that's a whole trouble.
what he needs to do is get old Shotty needs to get over with Jerry, get him in that office and let him act.
Yeah.
He does.
The Bobby Murphy says, "Stay off the weed." Stephen A. Stay off the weed. Yeah.
That's not gonna happen.
Rashee Rice trial hasn't been going.
Yeah,
so
it's
no
not gonna
suspension.
happen.
Yeah,
He
not
said it
yet.
about
But
that.
I'm saying, again, this was a.
That's not my thing's not the weed.
This isn't a big deal, but Bruce Banner says it right. Very unprofessional. I agree. It's not a
could
big
kill
deal,
somebody.
but nobody was dying. He was just acted immature. I mean, this happens all the time. He was just immature. So
What makes it a big deal though is the fact that he has priors. I mean,
well,
the
I
dude
don't. Well,
seems
he
like
had
he's hard-headed.
priors back. Yeah, I agree with that. So
Yeah, no, it makes it like an attitude.
yeah, Ultra
thing. I agree
Cowboy
with
says
Rob.
the weed in Turpin's car has been traced to Leo.
I would
like
say
it.
I
They
love
had
weed.
traced it back to. Yeah, he has prior charges, so that's what makes it a big deal. But we'll see. I mean, again, it's misdemeanors. We shall see. With nothing.
not only
Well,
that,
the previous priors could make it more than a misdemeanor with the gun possession.
Well, they already charged him with misdemeanors.
Oh, okay.
It was 2 misdemeanors.
Yeah, they already charged him.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's basically a
but-
slap on the
My
wrist.
bad.
But again, the NFL can do what they want. I personally could care less either way. Honestly.
yeah, but if you know you had a gun and weed in the car, why would you act stupid?
Because
You know what I
he is who he is.
Yeah, he's a dumb.
He never thought he would get caught.
Yeah.
Right.
Never do.
I was just curious what you thought that Brian Schottenheimer would do. Don't expect any suspensions. You just remember this is the same team who, everybody talks about Jimmy Johnson. I was talking to Wade about it. Jimmy Johnson. Oh yeah, he was a tough guy, right? But it all depended on how good of a player you were when it came to Jimmy Johnson. You don't think Jimmy Johnson didn't know about the White House and the cocaine binges and hookers all showing up at this house, but they were winning on the field. See, that's the difference.
So it was a different era as well too.
Well, again, everybody says, "Oh, it's like he used to be cut and send a message." Jimmy Johnson said, "The better the player, the more leeway you had." The reason why he cut that player sleeping in training camp or during a meeting, because he wasn't a good player. That was an exact. Now, this guy here, Turpin, to me, there might be something in the contract, but again, I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. We'll see. I'll just say this. I don't know what priors other than there's sometimes this domestic stuff. I don't know the details, can get carried away. I mean, I don't know the details of it. So, to me, in this country, you're innocent. Now, he was clearly used, he was stupid, right? I mean, you see these guys racing up and down, speaking of that, you had Henry Ruggs. Name some of the players. I mean, even Jalen Carter dropped in the draft enough because of his off the field. He was racing. He was racing cars, but he hasn't had an incident since. So to his credit, he hasn't had any problems. What's that, Thomas?
I think Henry Ruggs is getting ready to get out.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
Well,
he
I
is.
don't know if it's right now, but I did see where he was at a halfway house, and he might be in a couple years, but he's been, now, and that'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I do know that TCU had a problem. He was a problem at TCU. So again, shame on Turpin. You finally get a chance in the NFL, and you finally make money. I mean, let's face it, what he's done the last 2 years and make the Pro Bowl is great for him. And he finally got himself actually life-changing money, and he goes out and does this. That's not, I mean, I think.
Yeah, but the way to get into the NFL, he did it pretty rough. I mean, look, he got kicked out. And
Yeah.
then Trevon Boykin was not as a good role model probably because he got caught with weed and then he beat up his girlfriend. And then he had to go through the, other league. And then now you go to NFL and you're doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
It's like, bro,
He's
like,
gonna
really?
he's gonna be one of them guys that you hear in 3 or 4 years is broke after he's out of the league.
Most
Yeah.
of them are, though, Randy. I was watching
Yeah.
75, it's either 75 or 80% of NFL players. Now, you got to realize, look, we get caught up in the Dak Prescotts and CeeDee Lambs and Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley's. There's far more guys making nothing, And like if you make 1.2 million, I know that's a lot, but not really with these guys' lifestyles, paying the agent, buying a house, buying cars. Before you know it, you're down to zero. And then if you're out of the league within 3 years, that's why they say most guys are bankrupt in 3 years. That's sad. All the stuff
But
that
do
they
you remember?
do.
Remember when Prescott? He was barely making money. He was in his rookie contract buying these guys stuff with his own
Yeah.
money. You remember that?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that
Listen,
shows
nobody's
character.
questions. I mean, Dak's not perfect, right?
No, of course he's not. But that shows character, like what I
But
mean?
he's got it. He's a pretty solid dude now. Off the field. He does all the right things. So it is what it is. It's just frustrating. So, but yeah, well, stay tuned on that. Like I said, I'm really good. If they cut him, I wouldn't be upset with it. I don't think they're gonna do that, but I wouldn't be upset. Again, he doesn't do enough for me to keep him. As much as I like him, I think the kicking game has been taken out of the game so much that even though he's making the Pro Bowl, how big of an impact is it? Is it that big of an impact?
But Brian, remember what I told you? If he goes down again
What's up,
and that
Clemente?
backup has a chance, it's gonna be over.
Who's that for Dak?
Yeah, for Dak.
Yeah,
It's gonna be Tony Romo 2.0.
Yeah.
Well, you
That
guys
backup.
got to be remembered too that like the guy Mark was interviewing yesterday. When you come to camp, you're already in tip top shape. It's just how much shape how good a shape can you stay in as the season goes on. So, I mean, Milton looks good, but I want to see what he does in pads.
What's
I
up,
want to see
Mike
what he does when
Aldana?
he gets hit. I mean, it's easy to sit there and judge somebody and say, "Oh, that was a pretty throw," blah blah blah. But I want to see how he does when he's getting blitzed and under pressure and all that good stuff.
Yeah, one game doesn't prove anything that he's
So I'm not gonna buy into the hype until I see him actually full go.
Well, hopefully we don't have to see him go though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but
Well,
if we
I
have
wasn't
to.
referring for that one hype. I was referring him to college parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he's
Yeah,
going
the
the
only
right way.
time I like to see him in there is if we do get a game and we're way ahead of the opponent, then let him come in there and relieve that.
Well, I agree.
Well, I'm actually gonna see the preseason. Down in Atlanta. I bought tickets already. It came in today.
Okay.
I was
Oh,
talking to Wade about the Jets game. He wants to come down and go to the Jets game. So I'll do the Jets game. Logan Motorsports. Brian, do you think Joe Milton will replace Dak 2 or 3 years? I don't know, man. Logan. I mean, I don't know, man. We again, he has to make certain strides for him to even be a backup in this league. There's no guarantee that he's the backup. I know they may put him there, but there's a reason why that they traded him. New England. If he was that good, they would never have moved him. He has very athletic, freakishly so, great arm, but okay. I mean, we've seen that before.
Well, the last two quarterbacks that we had weren't playing. They didn't plan on making them the starting quarterback. when Romo was there, they didn't plan on having him replace Drew Bledsoe. And when Romo went down,
Exactly.
they didn't plan on having Dak Prescott replace him. So
Well, that's
that's the
why
same thing. I don't think they plan on having this guy replace Dak. Now, if something happens,
you
and he
don't
comes in
know.
and shines.
Again, that's why like it always cracks me up when people go, "Well, this is not going to happen. Dallas won't do that." You don't know when you're going to find the next guy. That's why you always go out and you try and get a young one because you never know when you're going to hit. I mean,
And how many people was sitting there talking about, oh, Andy Dalton, that's the red rifle. Yeah, he's going to be way better than Dak. What did he do? He didn't do shit. I mean, a matter of fact, he was so bad that the offensive line, when he fell down, they just looked at him and just walked away.
I did like him in Cincinnati, though. Unlike the
He was
Red
all right.
He did. I mean, he had a ton of
did all right.
weapons and still didn't
He
win
did,
enough
too.
playoff games. That's the issue. You know, you come
Yeah.
to Dallas. Ultra says Joe Milton has a lot of potential. Yes, and I think that's the way to
Yes.
put it. He has a lot of potential. I'm not here to hammer him, but I'm just saying we need to see him, okay? And you know, we need like you saw after what a year and a half of the dude we got from the 49ers. I can't, high draft pick that he just could not do it. He could not outside of his legs. He had no a concept of
Trey
the
Lance, you
passing.
talking about?
Yeah, he had no concept. He could not put it together. I think it's the NFL speed, and anybody that's played sports might know. The NFL speed is like none other. Like if you're a quarterback in college, and Phil will tell you that more than anybody. Phil will tell you if you're a quarterback in college, it's far different than being a quarterback in the NFL. Being open in a college, I mean, these guys are running free just by talent and scheme. In the NFL, everybody runs fast. Linebackers are almost as fast as the wide receivers. You
That's
know?
Johnny football about his career.
Will tell you. Back in college. Yeah, I gotta mute him. I'm hearing myself. But yeah, so yes. It's oh wait, that was Aisha. Sorry, I muted you by accident, Jesse. You can unmute yourself. Postman, do you remember the QB fighting rape charges? Who's that? Dak Prescott? The ones that got dismissed? Yes, I do.
But that was just hearsay.
Again, I don't know. I don't know. I just know if you're innocent in a court of law, you're innocent to me. 590 Shockwave Mossberg short for home protect. I used to have a Mossberg, Linda. Yeah. Short, yeah. Yep, I used to have a Mossberg pump. Bobby Murphy. It's not Dak's fault. Yeah. Again, I think Dak's going to have a good year. But to me, it's not about the regular season. I think it all comes down to the playoffs. If Dak doesn't have a good year during the regular season, then it ain't going to matter. He's had more weapons now than he's had in maybe ever. Right?
Yep.
So...
And it also comes down to his O line too now.
I believe that's going to be better as well. But that's, I mean,
I
the
know.
proof will be in the pudding. All indications are, and it's funny you brought that up. It's funny you brought that up because Tyron Smith has been working with Tyler Guyton. And Tyron Smith, here, I'll share this with you. Tyron Smith expects different Tyler Guyton after working with him this offseason. Again, everybody just wants to crap on the poor guy. Again, he was not slated to start last year. That wasn't the plan. I didn't like their actual plan. That was, their actual plan was to start Chuma Udoga, which, if you watch his channel, me and Phil were anti-Chuma Udoga from the get-go. But Tyler Smith never played on the same Cowboys team as Tyler Guyton, but he may have a hand in his successor at left tackle and a successful future up front. Basically, he's putting in the work with Tyron Smith. There's no other, there's really nothing more to say except he's putting in the work. If he's not successful this year and you don't see a jump, then he's not going to be a player. And I think that's fair to say. The dude had 7 college football games. He started out good. Remember, he did start out the year well, but the NFL doesn't play games. The NFL doesn't. It's very relentless. That's why I always kid the Commanders because I think that the NFL has something for the Commanders this year a little bit. Not that they're not going to be good, but I don't think they're going to do as well as they did in the regular season. What's your guys' thoughts on that? First, let's do it. Yeah, let's talk about Tyler Guyton. They're saying they're saying all the right things. Tyler Smith saying he's looking phenomenal. But what's your Randy? What do you think about that?
Well, it's his second year. I think that they're going to give him every chance they can this year because they want him to succeed. I think that he's gotten better coaching. I think we have a better offensive line coach, which could make a huge difference all across the line. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think he's going to do a lot better. Uh, Eugene Monroe, that was on the chat yesterday, really gave a good insight about how hard it is to switch from a right guard to a left guard because it's totally different from what a person is used to, especially if they've been doing it ever since they were in high school. And so that was a big task of him to ask Tyler Guyton to go to a position that he wasn't from, he was kind of familiar but not used to that particular spot.
Yeah, and that's a big, big pair of shoes to fill. I mean, left tackle, that's probably the hardest offensive line position in the league because you're protecting the quarterback's blind side most of the time, unless it's a left-hand quarterback. But that's hard. I mean,
It's
that's
like the
going to be a
most
big
important
adjustment.
position on the offensive period as far as quarterback left tackle. So you're absolutely right there.
I agree with you, and I think people,
and it's overlooked. It really is. It's being overlooked.
That's why when people make statements about the New York Giants, no offense, Jesse, but we need to see who your left tackle is going to be. That's why Dallas is not considered right now, as we sit here, July 7th, as an elite football team. They have to go out and prove a few things. So
I agree.
but
like I said, show me.
But that's where the Giants, everybody automatically elevating that. Their defense has been talented. Nobody, I mean, their defense has been talented, right? If you don't have a left tackle, okay, and you saw what happens.
I think as long as he does decent, he'll be all right. Do I think he'll play up to Tyron Smith's expectations? No.
Yeah. Well,
I don't see him playing that role, but I think that with the Tyler Brooks and the Tyler Smith and all those guys, Cooper Beebe, those are going to become your leaders of the offensive line, and I think that Tyler Guyton will kind of fall in line with what they do. And that's what they need to be They need to be a cohesive unit. It's not just one player stand out; it's a cohesive unit.
But working together as an engine, it's gonna work together. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially having Tyron Smith, teaching him stuff. He's gonna teach him stuff that he didn't know. So I think it's like you're saying, they're gonna work together, and just like an oil, in the engine.
Mm-hmm.
All parts have to
What's up, Oscar?
combine.
What's up, brother?
All cylinders got to be going.
Yeah.
Time to shine. It's time to shine.
Ultra Cowboy says I need Guyton to be Colton Miller. Wow, I saw Colton Miller sparring with Sean Strickland in the UFC octagon, or he was wrestling, throwing him around. It'll be interesting. I will say this: if Tyler Guyton, it takes a step. I'm not saying Pro Bowl. I'm saying he takes a step, and it's not a liability. Just remember, he wasn't a liability physically, and he's gotten a lot stronger this year. You can see the pictures of him. He's put the work in. His problem was mental.
I got to answer Drew. Drew says loyal Shotty will figure it out in his rookie year, right? I didn't say that, Drew. I'm just saying the offensive line, I believe as long as they play as a cohesive unit, we'll be all right. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Again, nobody's guaranteed.
I never once said, we're going to be a Super Bowl bound line. I didn't say any of that.
Yeah.
I just look for improvement.
He's nervous. That's his problem. Drew's nervous.
That's all I'm looking for.
He's scared, man. He's a little scared. It's okay, Drew. You'll be all right. You're gonna start out 1-3, but you'll turn it around. Colton Miller first year was worse than Tyler Guyton's first year. It is what it is. I don't know. I'm not a sightseer. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm rooting for the kid. He's a nice, again, he has all the traits. His feet are incredible. For his size, he's 6'7.5". He's a big boy.
A big guy.
And he's gotten stronger. We'll see. That's all. That's all.
I have an echo.
No, you don't.
Benny said I had that little echo in my thing.
I don't.
Well,
I don't. I
I
don't
don't
notice
hear
it.
it.
I'll say this: Booker was in the SEC last year, and he did not allow a sack.
Mm-hmm.
You think about that. He played against the best in the SEC.
And
Didn't allow a
he's already
sack.
friends with offensive players in the NFL. What's his name that was on the chat? He's friends with him. So
Eugene,
yeah.
I forget his last name, but yeah.
But he's getting word of it. I'm sure he's getting advice from these players,
Yeah.
on how to be a locker room leader and all that good stuff.
If Booker is the player I think he's going to be, our middle area is going to be solid for the next 10 years.
Pretty
From
bold.
guard to guard is what I'm talking about.
It's a pretty bold statement.
What, Chris? Never. I'm a Buckeye all the way, Chris.
Will
He's
has
talking
no
about-
idea.
he said, "I want to
Simply
be
wants
the
to join
Fighting
the
Irish
Fighting Irish.
bandwagon." No.
Chris Dooley. he's
However,
a
you guys'
Buckeye.
coach used to be a Buckeye, so Freeman, but I'm a Buckeye.
So, I was watching, or I was reading an article that they were talking about the president. They're getting the president involved for this funding of the stadium. So I thought it was kind of funny. And he's like, I never wanted the name change. He's almost like leveraging the Redskins over.
Oh, if he says he wants to change back to the Redskins, it'll happen. I mean, it seems like you gotta give him that. Everything he
Stay
says,
tuned on that
he's
one.
done. I mean, it's
man. We may go 1-3. Like it wasn't Logan. I didn't say we wouldn't. I don't know. I'm just saying, looking at the Eagles' schedule, it's very possible they can go 1-3 if they don't come out of the gate strong. That doesn't mean it's over. I'm already on board saying if somehow we shock the world and win week 1, that doesn't mean nothing. Our record, and unfortunately, when we win the first game, it's not always sunshine and rainbows. But if we lose, then now all of a sudden the pressure's on. You're coming home to play the Giants. You're looking at 0-2. You don't want that either. So I'm just looking forward to the season. But again, don't worry too much about the Cowboys. You got a tough schedule out the gate, boys. So, make sure you guys handle.
I will say this. It was just said that some of us are delusional about Booker maybe being better than Martin. I don't think Martin was very good the last 2
We're not
years.
talking as a career. We're talking about what he was the last couple of years.
I'm just saying that, when I say about Booker,
If we can be honest,
this is what I hope
he
for.
didn't make the Pro Bowl last year. And usually, Randy, normally you make Pro Bowls for at least a year after you've not at Pro Bowl level anymore if you've been making it. And I don't think Martin made it last year. I don't think.
He didn't make it last year.
So,
I wouldn't even worry about that. Zach is on his way to Canton. I
That's
don't worry
it.
about that.
all we're saying is,
they'll smoke an 8-ball of crack before he said that.
all we're saying is he may be better than Booker. May be better this year for the Cowboys than Zach was last year for the Cowboys. That's all we're saying. It's not like that.
Yeah.
That's like
That's it.
Yeah, Zach was 33 years old last year, and he had some injuries.
That's all
along
we're
with it.
saying.
He was
He
beat up the
wasn't-
last 2 years.
Yeah, he's
Speed up.
I mean,
think-
good Lord.
Here's
You
the-
play for 10 years inside the line of scrimmage, you're going to get beat
Here's
up.
the
I don't
deal,
care how
boys.
good you are.
And
You are.
boys and
And then on
girls.
top of that, in 2023, Zach he had an All-Pro year. If you think about it, went to the Pro Bowl and everything. Even though he was.
Here's the
well,
deal.
and you gotta remember too. Let's be
Expectations are
honest.
good, people. Expectations are good. It's good to have.
Let's be
high
honest. The last 3
expectations.
years for Pro Bowls, a lot of players that were in the playoffs and
Yeah,
on the road
yeah.
going to the Super Bowl,
Pro Bowls.
they were giving up their spots. So a lot of players that were getting in Pro Bowls, they were just like, "Oh, we're gonna put you in because this guy don't want to play in the Pro Bowl because he's thinking about the Super Bowl."
Pro Bowls is
Pro Bowl-
overrated.
Pro
It's
Bowls
just
are
a stat.
overrated to me.
well. If you're in the Super Bowl, you automatically give up your Pro Bowl spot anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, you still get.
so
But you still get
and then
that Pro
people
Bowl
after
nod
that
on your
usually will
resume.
decline, and then people after that decline. Then you're 5 players in,
Right,
and
right.
then
Sometimes,
to
yeah,
make to me a Pro
exactly.
Bowl.
Yeah.
There's no emphasis on a Pro Bowl anymore. Period. I mean, unless you're all Pro, first or second team, you're
Yeah,
really have nothing to brag about.
Yeah, Chris, I know
know,
Zach
player-
Martin played for Notre Dame.
Who the hell wants to play for Phil
The only thing that's good for the Pro Bowl is it's good for your resume. But other than that,
It's not even good for your resume anymore, especially if you're not the first one selected or the second one selected. If you're 4 or 5 players in because the other 4 declined the invitation, then what really is that saying?
Drew, I wouldn't say Blend was overrated. I mean, that year he got in the Pro Bowl, he had a good year. He had a really good year.
He set the NFL record in interceptions.
So I can't say he's overrated. I mean, last year he was injured. This year, we're gonna find out.
Yeah, he said like I don't know. It's something you have to look it up, but I think through his early career, I think he owns the all-time record in INTs. I know for 1 year. I mean, listen, he has a lot to prove too if he wants to stay with the Cowboys. Deron Bland needs to have a good year. He was banged up with the foot injury. He never, he came at week 12, week 13. He wasn't very good. So we'll see. He's got yet again another player with a lot to prove. Diggs is doing a lot though, Randy. Like you said,
Yeah, I saw that.
What's your thought on Trayvon?
I think he's going to be ready for game one.
Oh, that would
I
be
do.
great.
I think a lot of the negativity that he got from the owner and the coaches, I think it set him off.
And
he looked good yesterday in the video I saw.
Yeah, well, I know, Bill, it's only videos, but we've been seeing more and more different type of stuff. You can kind of. I still think he starts out camp on the side. You don't need, and then I think they ramp.
Yeah,
him
I
up.
agree. I agree with you.
But that would be huge because, then we wouldn't. I don't know if he's ready to go early. We know Bland's ready now, so you went out and got Elam. You got, I mean, look, we have a lot of bodies there now.
You got Ravel.
I don't
you
know.
Just hope, You know what? I hope we get through training camp without injuries. That's the thing that scares me
most
than
teams would
anything.
say that. I don't wish that upon anybody. I really don't.
No.
Last year was a nightmare, and whether people want to give us credit or not, it's really water under the bridge now. It doesn't matter. It's over. I don't wish that on anybody because it kind of, it was deflating as a fan, and for me, it was just like you really didn't have much confidence going into every week. So it'll be interesting to see how this team develops. But I don't know that you'll see Gilmore if he's ready to go week one. I think Gilmore won't be coming. I think they brought him in to see where he was because he had the injury and, kind of touching base. And they could, like you said, Randy, if they come out of this training camp unscathed, then maybe they won't reach out,
Right, I agree.
The organization. Because you got Elam, you got Ravel, the rookie. He is a rookie, but if he's not going to be a starter, he's still a depth piece. Then you have Bland and Diggs. Well, then you got Kale and Carson. And then you got, what's the guy they brought back? The South Carolina kid who played with, who am I thinking of? We brought him back this year on a.
Fowler?
No, the corner. Who am I thinking about? We brought, the cornerback we brought back for a 1-year deal. Sorry, I can't think of his name right now. Ultra knows who I'm talking about. He played
talking about Wanye, not Wanye Thomas.
No, the cornerback who had a big game in the playoff game against Tampa. I'm waiting for somebody to put it in the chat. Come on, Izzy. That's it. Izzy Mukwamu. Thanks, Ultra.
Mukwamu, yeah.
Yeah. As soon as you said Izzy, yeah, Mukwamu. I like Mukwamu. He's a bigger corner.
He's a safety, though, isn't he? He's a safety.
He played corner for us for a couple years. They were kind of moving him in and out. So he played. Remember, he was Dan Quinn's
hybrid.
Well, in that game against Tampa, the road playoff win, that was the ace in the hole. He hadn't played corner because you're right. They had moved him to safety. I'm just saying, as a depth piece, he's been getting some work on the inside with Deron Bland. Because if Ravel is really good, he looks good, you're not really going to know.
Right.
And then you got Elam. You could. That tells me they're probably not bringing back Bland if they're putting him in the slot. That's not going to make him happy. But he has been working in the slot, which, to his credit, so far he hasn't been too upset.
Is Overshown going to be starting, or is he going to be?
Not at the beginning. No, not at the beginning.
Please don't bring him back early. Let him heal.
I would say our
Thanksgiving or later.
Our bye week, looking at our schedule.
You could really say the same thing about Diggs. I wouldn't rush him back just to prove a point.
I wouldn't either.
In the doghouse.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's why I said we'll have to see. My first reaction was, Rob, that Dallas needed to go out and get somebody, a veteran, to help You know what I mean? That was because I don't want to have to rely on Rovell.
You
I
know what
don't.
makes your defensive backs better? Go out and get a good defensive tackle, please.
Yeah.
Go and put him in that spot where we're hurting. Well, I mean, we know it's the one tech. We
I don't
need a
see-
one tech.
Yeah, you've needed a one check for quite a while.
Yes.
I don't see that happening this year. I don't think there's anyone out there that's
You'd
that's
have to
really
make a trade
available
for somebody.
a trade, yeah.
The only thing we're hearing, Rob, and we are hearing about it a little more in the last couple of days, is Dallas has they're very deep at defensive end.
Right.
That's a possibility that you can move a defensive end for a better than average veteran, or a decent guy. That's what they were talking about now. Is that there is discussion. That's what the beat writers are talking about. The insiders, so to speak. Who the hell knows that maybe they move one of these guys. And that's the smart way. That's something that Howie Roseman would do. He would see a strength of your team, right? Or maybe you have an area where you could upgrade in another position. Instead of cutting a guy or going deep, move them and improve another area. So that's a possibility. But I'm with Rob. I wouldn't count on a free agent coming in here and helping you. That's not going to happen. But looking at
Dallas is smart, Dallas is smart with that, what I would do is Tennessee, even with the shiny new quarterback coming out of the draft, they were smart. They would really aggressively go after Simmons in Tennessee because they're not going anywhere.
I've been saying that all year. I said it first, Randy. I'm just kidding, bud. No, I'm with you because you know what? How are you going to make
Simmons is a beast. That's a true defensive tackle right there.
I agree with you.
That's not going anywhere.
He's not going
he's
anywhere.
He's an all-pro.
Now, my question to Rob is, or anyone in the chat, what's the rule on starting the year on IR? How many weeks do you have to be on IR, and then you have to? Is it 8? I don't know. I mean, can you look it up for me real quick? I don't want to say the wrong thing.
I think didn't they change it to 4?
That's what I thought.
I said it was 4. I was going to say 4.
What do you mean? If you miss more than 4 games, I think it's more.
No, you have to miss.
No, you have to miss 4 games.
No, I know, but I know that. But what's, is there a time where if you're on IR, you can come back because I'm looking at Dallas' schedule. They got a week 10 bye week, so I think that's perfect for Overshown. Miss the first 9 weeks, right? You have the bye week,
That's
and
4
then
weeks.
week 11. You're at the Raiders on Monday Night Football. I think that's a perfect time to bring back Overshown. Just so happens to be the game that me and Phil are going to. But yeah, I think that would be the week 11. That would be perfect. But I didn't know if there was a rule on you got to make a decision by a certain time with a player on IR. You know what I mean?
I think IR starts the first game of the year, and then I don't think you can go on injured reserve earlier than that.
No, but I'm saying
you guys real quick.
Yeah,
It says, Go ahead.
No,
you want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
It says players on IR must miss minimum of 4 games.
4 games.
Right.
They have designated to return. Teams can designate up to 8 players to return from IR during regular season and up to 10 if they make the postseason. Individual player limit. Each player can be designated to return from IR twice during a season. 21-day window. Once a player is cleared
21-day
to practice,
window. I know that.
they have 21-day window to activate 53
So
man
there is
roster.
no. So there is no. So what I'm saying is, Rock, is there is no, because there used to be, you had to make a decision on a player, and you had to bring them off of IR, and maybe that player's still not ready to go, but you had to bring them off of IR to take up a roster spot, basically, and which is a corresponding move. And sometimes you have to just make them inactive on game day. I guess they changed that rule. Where
it says they have 21-day window to be active on the 53-man roster.
But there's no 8 weeks, and then by week 8 you need to know. All right, so I like that. So that's good. So that works out good. I would say week 11 at the Raiders. If you see him, that's what it's going to be. He's going to want. He's going to want to play before that. You know that, and we need to keep him away.
If you ask me, I think he's gonna play earlier than that.
I don't know
I
that
really
that's
do.
smart, man. He's had 2 devastating
I don't
injuries.
either. I want him to get well. He can be a superstar. I'm telling you, he's that kind of a player. I
Here's the
don't want them to
problem with
come
him,
back
Randy.
early.
Here's the problem with
You
him,
know,
Randy.
I think he'll be back earlier than that, but they're gonna slowly ease him back
Yeah.
into things.
Because I think
They're
by
not
then
gonna.
you're going to know about Dallas. Dallas may be out of it
Oh
by
yeah.
then. Dallas may be out of it by then, right? And that's the
Mhm.
case. What the hell is the rush? Or they could be in the thick of it, right? Which is what we're hoping. And now you're
Mhm.
getting a guy of his caliber to come in to ease his way in. But the problem is with a guy like Overshone is he's balls to the wall, Rob. Like every practice, like you have to keep him from himself. He flies around, and those guys are infectious. But if you're an injured and off now, like what's funny is Randy, he was never injured in college hardly, but he
I
gets in the
know.
NFL, and it's just some unlucky things. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting, but he's a guy you need to save him from himself. He just doesn't
Agreed.
know how to go slow.
No,
Yeah.
I like him. I like Overshown a lot. I think he's
You
going to
know.
be a good linebacker for years
He
to
needs,
come.
and he's
If
made
by
mistakes.
game
He
8 we're
needs to
out of
learn
it, I
more.
wouldn't play him. If game 8 we're out of it, I would not play him this year. I'd let him completely get healed and bring him back first game next year.
Um, he has to grow as a player though, because Overshone's problem was sometimes he jumps the gun a little bit. He'll shoot the wrong gap. I mean, he's great sideline to sideline. He needs playing time. That's the thing. It's a catch-22. You only get better by playing.
Agreed.
So
I would
it's
play him.
like,
If he's healthy, I'm playing him. He needs to get that experience.
Yeah, I'm not saying that if he's not healthy. I'm just saying if you're out of it, you got no reason to play him. Why risk another injury? Let him get well and heal till next year. That's
I
all I'm
think
saying.
he needs that experience. So if you're out of it and he's healthy, I would play him because he needs to get some experience to get better. I mean, he's not.
Mhm.
Let's say he's not an all pro yet.
no.
He just
No.
has potential to be an all pro, but he just needs some experience. Like Game 5 says, he shoots the wrong gap sometimes, reading defenses and stuff. The only way you're going to get better is to play.
Yeah, you need to play. So I guess, if he gets another injury, his NFL career is over. I mean, if it, God
I mean,
forbid.
the good upside is that we do have Donovan and Zaraku, so
Yes.
we can find out about him too.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a different. It'll be curious
Well,
what they do
he's
with
a
Easy.
defensive end,
Yeah,
though,
but I
right?
mean, they talking
Yeah.
about kind of like Jihad Campbell. They're talking about kind of flexing Izaraku a little
Yeah,
bit.
right,
So
right. That makes sense.
Yeah, and I don't know that I like this new NFL where they, I mean, a lot of these teams they want position flex, and I'm like, okay, what made the Steelers good was they just had good players playing one position, or like the Ravens, Dallas likes to do this position flex, and I mean it's good. I mean I get it, but just give me a good football player. So it'll be interesting.
Do you think they will be waiting for the next NFL draft, the 2026 one? Because I was looking and they have a lot of defensive tackles that are
Yeah,
going to
it's
be.
funny you it's funny you say that. There's a guy that I was sent and I was checking him out. Let me see where he's at. Clemson defensive lineman Peter Woods.
Number 3. I know him already.
You like him?
I do. I also like the defensive lineman from Florida. I forget his name, but
Yeah,
he's plays with Florida also.
Peter Woods. That's it. Yeah. Again, it's never too early to talk draft, but when you're talking draft, that usually means it's it's not great.
I want to see the season happen before we talk draft.
We got plenty of time to do mock drafts.
No, I was just curious because I didn't know if
No,
they were
yeah, Ultra
holding
sent that
back
to
for
me
that
earlier today. I
position
thought it
till
was
next
funny.
season.
Yeah, he sent that to me earlier today. I'm like, and then you brought it up. There's a lot of defensive tackles. So if we don't have a good season, we'll probably get one, and you'll see the end of Mozzie. Don't ask me why, but Eberflus loves him some Mozzie Smith. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So what else do we got going on here? Let's see. Here. It's a little around the horn here. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Is a non-Cowboy question, but we'll talk about it. What are you guys' thoughts on Darren Waller unretiring and being traded to the Dolphins?
Cannon fodder.
I think it's a waste.
I think it's a good move by the Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to the Dolphins?
Even
Really?
the Dolphins.
I mean,
I
I
didn't
like the
even know he was
player.
still on the
He's just-
Giants.
I mean, I could understand if he's going to come back go to a contender, but the Dolphins?
Who was it? Was it back in the 80s that was retired for 5 years and then tried to come back? Oh, Lord. He
yeah.
played in some movies too, and I can't think of his name. But that was also a waste of time too. Oh, who was it?
Bosworth? Nah.
Bosworth, yeah.
Was he
Well,
Bossie?
no, this was even before that.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
The Boz.
Oh, I'll think of it in a
yeah,
minute.
think of it.
Do you remember what position?
Hey, he's taking advantage of a free payday. Can't blame him.
Yeah,
No.
he probably came back for the
They
money.
paid him $5 million
He
to come back.
probably I mean, I would say he came back for all the wrong reasons.
They paid him
right?
$5 million to sit on a bench.
Yeah, I don't see him playing.
Not for nothing. I would do the same.
I would too.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
Well,
right, I would.
yeah,
I'll
remember he
get
had
Callis
that
in my ass
singing
for $5
career
million.
that went nowhere. They had that singing career. Woke Youssef, what's up, my man? How you been? All right, we got this article here. The Washington Commanders. Obviously, they know that their Terry McLaurin is not. He's not available to them right now. I mean, what does he deserve to be paid? I mean, do you think Terry McLaurin, guys, is better than Deebo Samuel for that team?
Yeah,
Yeah, I do too.
I do
Yeah,
too.
without
I think
a-
Debo's
without a doubt.
overrated. I think
He's
Debo's
very-
overrated, to be honest
Tail
with
of two bums.
Terry McLaurin has been solid every year, consistently good. Even when bad quarterbacks are thrown his way,
Bingo.
he still gets his.
Yeah, he's had 1,000-yard season, and let's just go over some of the quarterbacks he's had. Let's just like rattle off the last 4 quarterbacks. Obviously, you had Jaden Daniels, but prior to that, Rob, who we talking? We're talking eyebrows. Yeah, we had Sam Howell, and then prior to Sam Howell, we had eyebrows.
Eyebrows?
Right.
Which is eyebrows is back, right? Or no? Where's
That's
eyebrows?
Chris. That's Chris's guy, right? Eyebrows.
Seattle, I think.
Yeah, who am I thinking of? Who's eyebrows? What's his name?
Dang.
Yeah, come on now. Here we go. Come on. I know Chris Dooley knows. What's eyebrows? Anyway.
Talking about Dobbs.
No. Well, he has some eyebrows too.
What eyebrows I know is Groucho Marx.
No, it was Lord Von Smitty over Terry. I would do that too. I can't think of the dude's name.
Tyler
Tyler
I was about to say I
something.
used to call him eyebrows. I forgot his name.
Yeah, Tyler something.
Tyler something.
Yeah.
Because last time I heard he was up in Seattle last year.
I can't wait for Wednesday night. Yeah, Woke Youssef. Thanks, brother. We have our panel. We have our panel for this Wednesday. We have Joe DeMasi representing the Cowboys. We got Jesse. We don't have. Oh, we got Aisha. Aisha, you ready to study up on the Giants? Now we'll go with. Are you available, Jesse, on Wednesday?
Yeah, I'm here. I'll be here.
All right. You got Jesse. You got Bobby. He's going to represent the Birds this week until Drew says he's available. And then the Commandos is going to be Chris Dooley. So, and then
Amen.
and then we'll allow everybody in. We'll get in our shots. Everybody is going to have their questions to bring. Hey, Mark Hudson, how are you, buddy? Taylor Heineke or Tyler Heineke?
That's who it is.
Tyler Heineke.
Yeah, so you had. Yeah, sorry. I don't know how we all didn't know, but so
I should
okay.
have thought about the field. I should have thought about Heineken.
So you had Heineke, right? So that's 2, and then prior to that, you had who, Rob? I know you had Haskins.
And Jeff Smith, Ryan Smith.
They had some real bad
I mean,
quarterbacks.
it's been bad. Thanks, Mark Hudson. Thanks, brother. How was your 4th of July? I know you were smoking. How was your brisket, Mark Hudson? How was your brisket? Oh, you were available. Wow. Dude, you got to reach out to me. I'm sorry.
Brian, I was working on 4th of July.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. I know the post office. We had people there sorting the mail. Thank God we did because, it wasn't so bad.
Hi, Aisha.
Man, I seen a coyote like literally spitting distance from where I was at.
Yeah, I know. I saw the picture. That was awesome.
I was like, damn, he just walked by. I was like,
Mark.
I thought he didn't bite you, or he just like walked by like a dog.
There you go.
Like,
Josh Johnson.
So they've
Gilbert,
had Sam Howell, Carson Wentz,
Alex
Taylor
Smith.
Heineke, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Garrett
Alex
Gilbert,
Smith.
Yeah.
Kyle Allen.
Yeah. Kyle Allen, Arkansas.
Kyle
That's
Allen.
it.
yeah, Colt McCoy, yep.
Yeah. So
Haskins and Case Keenum.
think about that, Chris Dooley. And yet, all as Terry McLaurin has done is just show up and catch touchdowns.
Game time. Austin said he was in Coney Island watching the hot dog contest.
Oh, really? Yeah, I watched Joey Chestnut. He 70
Oh, I
and
saw
a
that.
half hot dogs, man.
That was crazy.
70 and buns. That's the hard part. It's not just the hot.
He tripled everybody, Brian.
Yeah. And he's not that big a dude. A lot of these guys work out.
I have to see him go against Kobayashi again.
Yeah.
And you think the big fat guys would dominate in like hot dog eating contests, but they're the ones that get beat.
Loyal, when you said coyote, anytime somebody mentions that, I think of some of the dumb reasons why players, like baseball players, had to go on the injured list. And one of them was Nolan Ryan when he tried to pet a wild coyote, thinking it was being friendly, and it bit him.
Oh yeah.
And he had to
I
go
didn't
on
pet him.
the injured list.
I didn't pet him. I just took a picture and got back in the car. I was just like, I stuck my head out.
Loyal
Yeah.
Ultra said he wants you to do the chestnut.
Do the what?
The hot dog eating.
I ain't doing no damn hot dog. You do it, Ultra.
Kid Cowboy. A
Hey,
Turpin
Ultra,
money
we'll have
guarantees.
a
No, you
shot.
got-
We'll have a shot drinking contest.
Hey,
Me and you.
Laurel, you got to recruit Mark Holmes in there.
There you go.
The
Kid
Glizzy-
Cowboy.
the Glizzy Devastator.
Cavante
hey,
Turpin. Let me read this.
Hey,
real
Ultra, we'll
fast.
do a shot drinking contest. Me and you.
Cavante Turpin is a 3-year contract with the Cowboys, included $5 million in guaranteed money. He got 3.6 at signing, so he's only owed 1.4 million more in guarantees. So the total contract value is 13.5 million with an average annual of 4.5. So it's not the 18 that everybody's talking about. So that's it says 3-year 18, but there must be some like crazy numbers with that. But the contract value is 13.5. So he doesn't have much more guarantees. So.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking about. Kid Cowboy, Alex Smith, not Ryan Smith.
Yeah, Alex Smith. Alex Smith had that gruesome injury. That was
Man, did you see pictures of his leg? Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
After the surgery, man,
that's bad news. Very bad. But I was looking at the NFL schedule, not like a particular team schedule. You know, it's crazy, guys. September 4th. Look at this. We are the first game of the year. When you really think about it, you know, it's crazy that Dallas at the Eagles in
it'll be here before you know it.
Less than 2 months.
Is it a day game or an evening game?
Oh, no.
Oh, it's a night game. It's
Thursday night. Yeah.
I forgot Thursday
Right
night.
nights in the
And then
Look at
Friday
that.
night. And then Friday night on YouTube, YouTube TV, the Chiefs versus the Chargers on the 5th. I don't really like that, I guess, but I kind of feel like it takes a little. I mean, I don't know. It takes a little. I mean, I guess we kick it off, so that's fun. But then they turn around and do a game on Friday, and then the regular slate of games on Sunday. Just an early look at week 1. Obviously, we're looking at Eagles and Dallas, right? I don't know about you. I kind of hate playing them early games, Rob. I mean, what's your thought? I hate playing the games and then having to wait.
Yeah, I
Did
do
you guys
too.
see what Ultra
I hate those
said?
early games.
I just want to play on a normal schedule. I hate
Yeah, me
Thursday
too.
games.
Give me
Hey,
a
game
Sunday
time.
2 o'clock game.
Hey,
Dank
game time.
makes
You gonna
loyal to
drive
the
the-
chestnut. Do the chestnut.
Yo,
Oh,
look what
God.
Ultra said
What?
about Mark Holmes.
Yeah.
He's
I'm
going
not-
to the Blue Oyster.
Yeah.
And a Dak strap and
Police Academy over there.
Ultras. You were the
September
man, dude.
7th, we got
Hey, game time.
yeah.
Are you gonna go down to Virginia to see the new Bucky's?
If I go to Mark's Red Brick House one of these times, yeah, I'll have to go right by there. But yeah, maybe I'll go out and visit Mark this year at the Red Brick House when he's streaming, and maybe we'll do something. So
They're building one here in Huber Heights,
Old Slim
Ohio.
over there. Old Slim Holmes losing all that weight.
It's probably about an hour and a half from where I'm at, but I don't even want to go when it first opens. I know it's going to be packed. So
what's that, Bucky's?
Yeah, they're building a Bucky's in Huber Heights, Ohio.
I went a couple weeks ago to the Bucky's that they have here, and it's pretty nice. It's pretty cool.
I heard it's like the Walmart of gas stations.
I didn't get a Walmart vibe in there. I mean, it was pretty cool because they had like the
They
brisket
got
and
showers
everything.
in there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
They
it
got
was
showers.
clean. I mean, unlike Walmart,
the
Bucky's was
bathroom is really nice.
They got like
everything
100
was clean.
pumps, right? 100
Yeah.
gas pumps. Yeah.
I will tell y'all this: the prices aren't exactly cheap though.
They're not cheap.
They're steep a little bit. So
I paid
be ready to
$12 for a
pay.
brisket sandwich, but it was a double brisket sandwich. But it was $12 just for the sandwich.
Yeah, but there is a rule with Bucky's. If you're passing by through Texas, you gotta stop at a Bucky's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a cool experience. I'd go back again.
Everything's
Yeah, 'cause
expensive.
we stopped, but we was leaving out of Dallas.
So hell, Hugh Douglas worships that place.
Yeah, so Chris Dooley sent me here. I'm actually related to Joe Theismann a little bit. Wow.
Ultra's the man. Dude, you're funny.
God.
Mark Holmes
Hey,
says
Rob.
he's using but his jeans have stretch marks.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah, what's up, AJ?
Didn't the Nuggets just made a sway?
Yeah, we've actually been doing some good moves. We got Valanciunas from Sacramento, and we did traded Porter for Cam Johnson. We've actually done some really good moves.
Yo, take
so
care
far.
of Cam Johnson, yo. I like Cam Johnson.
Oh, for sure.
Let's talk about week one again. Like I said, I don't know. I mean, I guess you got the Eagles, Cowboys. That's a good game. Chiefs at Chargers. I think that's an underrated game, right? I like that. I think Buccaneers at Falcons. Okay, I'm okay with that. Bengals at Browns. Dolphins at Colts. Panthers at Jaguars. Probably the boringest game of the year. Raiders at Patriots. It'd be interesting to see what the Raiders are. The Cardinals at Saints. I guess Kellen Moore, kind of interesting. Steelers at the Jets. Okay. Giants at Commanders. Now that would be good. I mean, that would be interesting.
I want
to
some
watch.
Commanders big time.
Titans at Broncos. My sleeper to be in the Super Bowl is the Broncos. The Titans at Broncos. 49ers at Seahawks. That's a good game. 4:00 game. I like that. Lions at Packers. You know that's going to be the national game. I like that.
Sunday night. It's Sunday night game.
No, that's 4:25.
What?
Yes. Texans at Rams is another good game. It's a strong week one, everybody. Sunday night game, Ravens at the Bills.
No, that's a good one.
And then Monday night, Vikings at the Bears. That's
You know
a
what?
good first
And
week.
you know
This one
what?
right there.
So does
know
the Chiefs and Chargers play on Friday night after the Thursday we play? Is that the Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Look, what are you asking me? I can pull it up.
Is the Chiefs and the Chiefs and the Chargers the Friday night game after we play Thursday?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Quick question. Do you think the reason we're playing so many Thursday nights is because of wanting to, how am I putting this? Because
Alex,
not
because
a lot
of
of
money.
people, I was wondering because of a lot of Thursday night games are not all that popular, but then they put the Cowboys on there.
I smell Jerry.
Well,
I smell
I
Jerry.
think
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just curious.
well, they're locked into the Thanksgiving. Obviously, they're gonna max out with like they always do with the primetime games. But teams are complaining about the week after Thanksgiving. The Dallas gets a little mini bye, which they will eventually, but that they have to play in Detroit. That's probably the hardest 3-game stretch I could see almost any team doing. We play Philly at home, and then home against the Chiefs 4 days later, and then at Detroit 7. So we play 3 games in 11 days, a 2 at home versus the Eagles and Chiefs, and then at the Lions. That's
going to be a brutal week.
Yeah, that's a stretch of games that's rough. But here, let's just media share it. Wade's back. Here's basically the Cowboys schedule. Thursday night at the Eagles. Okay, then we're home for a 1 o'clock Eastern Giants game, week 2. Then it's at the Bears, 4:25. Home against the Packers, Sunday Night Football. So that's 2 prime time. Week 5 at the Jets is early. Week 6 at the Carolina. That's early. I'm liking those games. Get the games in and out. Week 7, 3:25. Home against Washington. Week 8, 3:25 or 4:25 at Denver. Week 9, Monday Night Football, Arizona Cardinals at home. Week 10, bye. Week 11, Monday Night Football again. A 2 out of 3 weeks we're playing on Monday Night Football. That's crazy. At the Raiders, I'll be at that game. Week 12, 4:25, home against the Birds. Week 13, prime time on Thanksgiving. Week 14, Thursday Night Football. Another primetime game at Detroit. Week 15, Sunday Night Football. The Minnesota.
Is Wade at Golden Corral?
Week 16, at home against the Chargers. Week 17, home at the Commandos. And week 18, week 17, that's prime time. That's Christmas Day. So that's another primetime game. And then week 18 at the Giants. Wade's
That's
at
a
Golden
Netflix
Corral.
game.
Yeah.
Wade, where are you at?
That's his logo.
He's in the lot.
I'm looking at the Golden Corral sign.
Yeah, no, you're not.
There's a lot lizard in the house.
There's a lizard.
This is where I pick them up at.
Oh, God. Rob, extra Dak sauce on those, CZ. 7 and 7 long sub will be breaking out of the Red Brick House. 7-foot long sub. Yes. Kid Cowboy, I need to get me a laptop. That's my next big purchase, and be able to get my road so I don't have to stream off of my damn cell phone. So that's the next thing I need to invest in. Maybe before the season. We shall see. But anything you guys want to talk about? Yeah. Everything will be shipped tomorrow, guys. Sorry, I've been slow. I'll get the tumbler out. I'll get the 2 sports cards that we gave away. One to West Virginia Country Boy and one to that dude Rolo. So those will be going out tomorrow. I'm going to actually, the shipping department needs to get their act together, but she's looking at me. Yeah, we got to do that. But yeah, so anything else you guys want to talk about before we get out of here today? Anything of?
What's the countdown there, Randy?
Yeah, how many days? Well, you figure today's the 7th, right? So it's 2 weeks from today is training camp.
Yes.
And well, they report
6 weeks from Thursday.
Yeah.
7 weeks from Thursday.
Yeah, see, figure.
And college starts for real on the 23rd.
Yeah,
of
now
August.
let's talk about that. Like, what's
Rob, what's wrong with you,
college
yo?
football schedule?
Yeah, let's talk about Jack and the thin ice he's on.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead, man.
Eagle Wade's back.
I got you, Wade.
My patience is wearing thin. I need a
I don't
Super
blame you,
Bowl
man.
trophy.
9 seasons. It
We're
worth
gonna
it
order
for me
online,
too.
Amazon.
Accountability. Accountability.
Betsy.
So the first week is kind
Patience
of
is
weak.
wearing 10 years too thin.
The first week's kind of weak, Randy.
Yeah, it is.
yeah,
It is.
looking
There's
at
3
it.
games the first
Ohio
week.
State, Texas.
No, they're not the first week, Loyal. They're the third
You
week.
got Idaho at UNLV.
I thought they played week 1. No, they played the first week.
Iowa State at Kansas State.
Yeah.
On ESPN. That'll be a good game. Fresno at
Wait,
Kansas. Sam
wait,
Houston at
Vinny
West
said leave
Kentucky.
Dak alone.
And Stanford at Hawaii. Who cares?
Leave that
Alabama's
alone.
not playing first week?
No.
No, there's only 3 games the first week.
No, there's 1, 2, 3. There's maybe 3, and there's some there's some lower level games, but yeah, there's basically 5 games.
Yeah, I'll see y'all later.
All
I
right.
gotta go take care of some things.
All right, Hallie, we're getting ready to get out of here anyway.
All right, Hallie, have a great night.
You see ya.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
See ya.
Yeah, you got Idaho over at UNLV, Iowa State at Kansas State. That's the main game. In Dublin, Ireland. Fresno at Kansas, Sam Houston at Western Kentucky. That's a lower level game. And Stanford at Hawaii. I always liked those Hawaii games late night, Rob, back in the day when you wanted to get right gambling wise. You could always count on San Diego State. Yeah.
Fresno's,
Hawaii.
Hawaii, San Diego State, Fresno's, the
yeah.
Bulldogs and them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's crazy because I was betting on those even this last year, but then you would throw on the game and it's still daylight.
Yeah,
and it's like
crazy.
10 o'clock here. It's crazy. So everybody's asleep here and it's like 5 o'clock over there.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Week 2, there's not much. You're breaking up there.
I like those games. You don't watch games all day, and it's about 10:30 at night. You still need that fix, and then you turn on CBS Sports Network. Bam, there you go. Hawaii and San Jose State or Hawaii San Diego State.
Yep.
And watched about 20 minutes.
Are UNLV? Because that's all the
Yeah.
same conference. Or New Mexico State.
Yeah.
They'd all be battling out. And those are like that's your redemption game. Like you would just lean on like Fresno State to go in there after you lost
Arizona
a couple
State.
of bets.
Yep. It's just funny. It brings back memories because I think I'm gonna do more this year. I will. I think I will. But I don't know. It just brings back memories, man. Man, I need to. You come up with a good parlay. That's
Exactly, dude. You nailed it.
I know.
I'd be up until like midnight watching those games to see if I can pull it through.
Yeah, my buddies. I don't really hang around with them too much recently, but there's one time I used to hang with the type of guys. We'd go to Vegas and he would just put 500 on red or black, like as soon as he walked into the casino. And more times than not, he would win. It's like he goes that, and then bam, that just tells you what kind of weekend it's gonna be. So I'm looking forward to Vegas, guys. Randy, when are you having your procedure done, brother?
The 29th of August.
Okay, and what exactly are they doing?
They're a partial knee replacement.
Okay.
It's not a full knee replacement. It's a partial to my right. Then I have to get well, and then they'll do my left.
And what's the success rate on those? I mean, like I'm not too familiar with partial knee replacements.
I hear that it's like a 95% thing.
Okay.
You can't have problems with them, and if they do, then they're going to go in and replace the whole thing. I wish they would go ahead and do the whole thing.
That's what I was saying. Just go in and do the whole thing.
Yeah, but the doctor said there's no need. I have plenty of cartilage on the back of my knee. I'm new to all of this.
Yeah. So again, if anybody doesn't know already, November. I don't even know the dates. What is it? November 15th.
15th through the 18th or something like that.
Yeah, I know. I have people coming for the 15th and 16th of November. Hang out the weekend before the Dallas game. So again, I was doing my research. Actually, the MGM Sportsbook is in the Mandalay. So even if you're not staying at the Mandalay, just find your way. We'll hang out there. Some to watch college football. There's a lot of different options, but it's gonna be fun, man. I can't wait. I really do.
I can't either.
I just hope our team is in the mix, or at
In
least
the hunt.
Hey, Rock, I'll probably start booking around August if he's still on here.
Yeah, Rock
Okay.
is there. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
there. But
I think I found I found a hotel real cheap, man. It's called the Stratus or whatever it is.
the Stratosphere, that's at the other end of the strip. You can't
Yeah.
stay
Is that
there.
what? Oh,
Yeah,
is
no,
that why?
The
no,
hotel, no tell.
no. You need to
Right
stay.
now, the Excalibur, which is right next to the Mandalay Bay, it's not the greatest hotel, but it's pretty cheap.
And they have
Okay.
and you can stay
That's
at the
where I'm staying.
Luxor, which is right next door, and you could get
Okay.
suites. You could get suites for really cheap. Again, it's not the best, but you're only sleeping there. So
Which hotel are you staying in? Same time?
I'm at Mandalay, and that's actually
Yeah.
cheaper than the MGM across the street. But
Well, I
you
showed
don't
you
want to
my
be too far.
MGM. I redeemed like $2,500 worth of my MGM.
Well,
bet,
there you go. You should
for
say
that
I
that.
think the
hotel thing,
Excalibur
so-
should
How
be
is the
fine.
I
Luxor?
think we're gonna be there.
I just
don't like
I ain't
Luxor.
gonna lie to you, Rob.
You like the Luxor?
I heard
don't.
the Luxor was bad.
It's
I
not
don't
great,
like
but you can
Luxor.
get big. Yeah, it's not great.
Okay.
It's not, but it's cheap and you can get big rooms.
You said
But
you're staying at the Excalibur, Randy?
Yeah,
I
Oscar's
look.
got
Okay,
a
looks like
spot if you need.
552. Okay, it's
Yeah,
not bad.
Oscar's got a room.
Wade wants to
he
go
needs,
too, so just keep that
you
in
know,
mind.
So the
I'll
Strat
be
you said is
staying
on
with
the
the
other
lot
side
lizards
of
Yeah,
the
and
no,
strip.
no.
cockroach hotels.
Yeah.
$50
Same
a
with
Randy,
night.
bed
Joe
bugs.
said you would stay with you if he go.
Yeah,
I might stay at the
I mean,
Bellagio because I think I'm gonna go.
Loyal.
Yeah, yeah.
Loyal. The you can't stay at Stratosphere. That's
No,
not
we'll,
even.
we'll just go
They
to
have
the
a
not even on the
Excalibur.
walkway.
strip.
They have a walkway, Loyal, from the Excalibur to Mandalay Bay. A straight
Okay.
walk.
I'm looking at Excalibur right now. It's not bad. It's like
Uh-uh.
552 for the
That's
nights
what.
I'd want to go. It says it's
Yeah.
got an 8.0 review.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm staying at the Mandalay because it's actually kind of for
Yeah, I'm gonna play poker there too.
like the
I
bang
already
for
did
the
my
buck
research
at
on
the
that.
Mandalay.
I'll be there with you, Rock.
Is
Well, right now,
Alright,
see,
let's go,
Mandalay is
Andy.
like $900
Come out in
total
your underwear
for.
there,
I
Rock.
just got a room for 2 nights for
La
my wife.
Tangas.
I just got a room for my wife and my wife's friend / producer. So I'm paying for 2 rooms, but I got her a room. I booked it last night, and they're going for Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and it was 800. So I got her room.
Well,
for that.
I talked to concierge and I think I can get my rooms comped. So
Yeah.
I
You
think I'll
should-
be there for sure.
you should
But I'll
stay at the
probably be
Mandalay.
making a move more in August.
I like the
So
Bellagio.
you
I
know,
mean, it's
I'll
like
text
600
you and
a
let you
night.
know.
If you want, I'll call you.
You got
right
it,
after
Bruce
this.
Banner. You got it, brother.
Okay.
Hey, Elena. Hey, what's up, D? How are you? But anyway, all right, everybody. We have time to talk about that. Ultra Circus is the word. Yeah, actually, Circus has got bed bugs, Arturo. Do not go there. That's
I hear they're getting ready to tear that down. Is what I've heard.
Disney's putting a thing there. So yeah, Disney is the 5-star
Game
hotel.
time.
if you
Cowboy,
like
a Cowboy
glizzies.
fan winning on in first place right now.
What's that? What'd you say?
What'd you say?
Asia, say it again.
I said a Cowboy fan is on first place right now in the top fans.
Very cool. Who is it?
Linda.
She's not a Cowboy fan.
Now is the Eagle fan, so
Yeah, see, Linda is.
she took over. She took over.
Since they found that out, they bailed. But yeah, so we got time to talk about it. But all right, everybody, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna go eat dinner. It's almost 7:30 here. I gotta wrap up this stuff and get it out in the mail for tomorrow. But it's been cool doing a lunchtime chat. I miss it. Don't forget. I mean, you'll see me, but Wednesday night, 8:30. I don't know. Do you guys think 9 o'clock's better than 8:30?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
So 9 o'clock's better than 8:30?
Who's the
Yeah,
lineup? Who's the lineup this week?
Well, everybody's going to be, I always open the gates for everybody. But to start off, I didn't know Drew was available. I'm trying, Ultra said he's busy right now, but it's going to be Joe
I want to see
DeMasi.
Ultra, Drew, Momo.
Joe
That'd be
DeMasi's
late.
making his debut
No,
for the
Momo's not. It's gonna be
Cowboys.
this guy.
What's that?
It's gonna be this guy for the Redskins.
It's Chris Dooley.
Chris.
He's a wealth of knowledge. We got Jesse.
Okay.
And then we got, who am I missing? Bobby.
You're missing Rock as the referee.
Yeah, Rob.
The guest referee.
Special guest.
The paid guest referee under the table.
Rock, Ultra asked if you were going to Vegas.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
All right. So
My bad.
Yeah, we'll get that all. Yeah, Loyal.
I think he said Rob.
You can't,
not Rob.
Loyal. You could stay if it makes no sense to
Oh.
stay at the Stratosphere. Yeah. And,
Okay, well that's good info. That's good.
Yeah,
info.
no,
Very
I'm
good.
just telling you. You need to stay. If you're worried about money, then stay at the Excalibur. You can get good.
I mean, we're
rooms for
splitting it
cheap.
anyway, so
Yeah.
I would say if
Yep.
you're splitting with Mandalay has 550 square foot rooms. They're nice rooms. So if you're going for 3 nights and you're splitting it, you can get 2 queens if you go on now. I got mine. Just make sure like you sign up for the MGM rewards and you save like $30-40. I mean, of course they get you with the hotel fees. It's like $50 a night plus tax for the right to stay at the hotel. Most of them are like that, unless you're like Rob, where you got like a lot of points, you get to dodge all that. But like I said, I just got a room for my wife for 3 nights, and it was $800. So if you're splitting it, that's $400.
Where's that? Is
pop. That's
Momo
not
actually
bad.
coming?
Momo says he may, but I don't know. He's dealing with some stuff with his sister, I believe. She's dying, so it sucks. But anyway, all right, everybody. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Rob, Aisha, Randy, Walker Wade, Thomas Garrett, Rock.
Rock with the new look.
Yeah, so what's up with the look? It's a little
I don't
less
know.
of
The
a
wife
beard,
was saying
right?
it's getting
Yeah,
too
yeah,
long, so this is actually my original
Jesse
look.
and Loyal. He looks good.
Yeah.
It looks clean.
Looks sharp, man. Yeah,
It looks
nice
good.
Thank
clean
you.
start.
But all right, everybody, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll talk to everybody later. And all right.
All right,
Give me about 10 minutes, Rock. I'll be up there.
All right, man. I'll
All
talk
right,
to
no
everybody.
problem.
See you. Peace.
All right.
Later.
Take it easy.
Later.